Hello. Teja, you haven't joined for the program. We have to start at 7 itself. I mean, now it's already 7. No, you are not. Where? No. You have to use the link in the email, not in the WhatsApp. WhatsApp email is for. I mean, WhatsApp link is for the students who can see those things. You have to join in somewhere else. Use the link that is provided in your email ID. Thank you, Teja. Could you please identify who is 1003 Department of Economics?
Sir,
Hello.
Teja.
Teja. Okay, perfect, Teja. Yeah, I would like to see your video too. I want to see you. Hello, Teja. Could you please on your video? While dear contestants, while you present or while you are engaging in any type of activities in the program, you have to switch on your video because it have to be recorded. Hello. Why haven't? Yeah. Yes or no? Why haven't you joined for the program? We are going to start.
I have already joined, but it is saying that the screensaver is saying that you still have to wait for some time to join the meeting. അങ്ങനെ കാണിക്കുന്നത്.
Then ഇമെയിലിൽ ഞാൻ അയച്ച ലിങ്ക് ആണോ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്തത്?
അല്ല സർ, എനിക്ക് വാട്സാപ്പിൽ കോർഡിനേറ്റർ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തത്.
No. You go and check your email. That is wrong. That is for the general participants. They can only view the thing. That's a live stream. You have to join in the Google Meet webinar room.
Okay, sir.
That I have shared in your mail. Okay then. Catch you there. Your voice is not audible, Teja. Yes. Perfect, Teja. You have to keep your mobile cam somewhere so that it won't get fluctuate. I mean, else your face will get blurred because as it moves.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Check the audio once more.
Sir, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. If you're using that sound, we won't hear. You have to be. I mean, either you have to keep your mic near to your. Your mouth, or else you have to speak louder.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Perfect. So I just want to cross check. Now I require only Sonu and Malaviya. What happened to Malaviya? I'm going to start the streaming session so that all the people who comes in the college ID, they could also see the streaming, what is happening in this room. So I'm starting the streaming so that somewhere around 3,000 people over here in St. Albert's could see what is happening in this room, but they can't intervene in between. So I have started the live streaming. So it will be visible for all the Albertians. Malavika, you have to click in the link that is sent to your email. I have sent a link to your email. You might have joined somewhere else.
No, sir, I thought you will send me via WhatsApp, so I will waiting for your...
No. I have sent the official mail.
Okay, sir, I'll do it now.
Okay, so we are waiting for you.
Sorry, sir.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't get upset. It's okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Be confident and do join. There is no issue for the timing. We will wait. Don't worry.
Okay, sir, I'll do it now.
Okay, Malavika.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Sonu.
Sir, it's saying that I can't join it now. Sir.
മുകളിൽ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന EFC-AVNT-ICA അങ്ങനെ Malavika, are you here? So I just want to read out the order of today's program. Aparna Haridas, are you here? Aparna?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Ginny Joby?
Yes, sir.
Mariam Philip?
Present, sir.
Ebin John?
I'm here, sir.
Sonu, yes, Shibu. He is still Sonu? Okay. Teja Teres, Tommy?
Present, sir.
Malavika Rejit? Malavika? Okay, Malavika. Sanchez Khalita?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, so we will start the process because I don't want to waste the time because now itself it's 15 minutes late.
So, as you all are aware, the United Nations is celebrating its 75th year of its existence, and the St. Albert's College Autonomous is also celebrating its 75th year from this July 16th onwards. So, the Albertian Foundation, the social outreach wing of the St. Albert's College Autonomous, is globally engaging in dialogue as entrusted by the United Nations to the whole world. The United Nations have very specifically shared that as it's a 75th year, they have 7 specific themes that have to be discussed all over the world, the global dialogues. And at first, we have taken the first theme as the climate crisis, a race we can win, based on the UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program, on June 6. So moving further, we have 8 participants who are shortlisted from the 120 plus registered members in the United Nations 75 phase 1 program, and is the grand finale of the presentation. And the first responsibility of me is to introduce our jury members, starting with Dr. K. Madhusudanan sir, who serves as the Assistant Professor in the Department of Botany and Research Center of St. Albert's College Autonomous, who was mentored by the famous botanist, a green revolutionist of India, M.S. Swaminathan sir. I'm really proud to have such a wonderful, eminent personality with us, Dr. Madhusudanan sir, who is really an environmentalist who spearheads the environmental programs of St. Albert's College and even in his personal life. He have a very good agricultural farm, a great person with high values and morals, and who fight who advocates for the environmental protection. So on behalf of the Albertian Foundation, I cordially welcome our jury member, Dr. Madhusudanan K. Sir. Hearty welcome, sir. The next jury member is our former Dean of Student Affairs and the present Head of the Department of Chemistry and Research Center, Dr. Vijay John Jerson. He hails from the Kannikal family who are into the great profession, the education, who teaches a lot of generations. And I'm so proud to share the family name, the Kannikal, from where we had a eminent visionary priest, Father Kannikal, who led the educational revolution in Kerala, specifically with the name, a lot of names that he have started educational institutions in Ernakulam district specifically. And his father was also serving the same college as a professor. Now it is too proud to say that his son have joined the St. Albert's College with a great tradition of teaching. And he is into the chemistry, but more into the conservation of environment and voicing and echoing against the pollution and the various aspects of it. So on behalf of the social outreach of St. Albert's College Autonomous, I cordially welcome Dr. Vijay John Jerson, the head department of Chemistry and Research Center, to this function. Hearty
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you, Shine. Thank you.
And we have the great personality, Professor Mary Joseph, who spearheads the student affairs activities of St. Albert's College Autonomous from the last month onwards. But she is engaged into a lot of activities to empower and strengthen the students in St. Albert's College as well as in the state of Kerala. Professor Mary Joseph, who is keen in the international collaborations and activities, even like the United Nations 75, she is a person who discusses with us and who sits with us to ensure that everything is smooth, and she does things in a meticulous way. A great professor in botany department who spearheads the environmental activities in St. Albert's College too. On behalf of the social outreach wing of St. Albert's College, the Albertian Foundation, I cordially welcome our beloved professor, the Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Mary Joseph, to this function. Hearty welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you.
And we have 8 selected members. We have 8 members, 8 participants who are selected for the final version of this program. First, Aparna Haridas. Second, Ginny Joby. Third, Mariam Philip from Kottayam. Fourth, Ebin John from Calicut. Fifth, Sonu Yeshibu from Alapura. Sixth, Teja Teres Tommy from Ernakulam. Seventh, Malavika Rejit from Ernakulam. And eighth, Sanchez Khalita from Guwahati, Assam. The concept is that very simple. As we shared in the mail, we are into a global dialogue. And we have the concept of concept of, we have taken the topic as a climate crisis, a race that we can win. There will be 3 rounds. The first round, which is called as a presentation round, where each participant have 8 to 10 minutes time for presenting the topic. You are free to present. Once your name is called, you can start the presentation. And at the 8th minute, I will give a warning symbol. And in the 10th, I will request you to stop. You can stop even before that. That's up to you. And that's a time where you have to present the topic. UN 75 topic, the first topic, the climate crisis, a race we can win. And the second is the deliberation round, where we have 20 to 30 minutes. And it's a general round where all the participants can engage in deliberation. And request everyone to compliment and supplement everyone. That's a peculiarity of that round. You have to compliment and supplement everyone, including yourself. And request you to be gentle and be with the spirit of United Nations, where the humanity and the peace is upheld. The third round is called the call for action round, where it is a culmination of your speech. And in that, you will get 2 to 5 minutes to conclude your presentation and give your final message, which is basically a call for action. So that's in general. So in case if there is something to intervene, then only I will intervene, or else I will keep my mic muted. I won't intervene anywhere in the presentation round or in the deliberation round or in the call for action round. I will call just the names. That's my role. But in case if there is something happens in between the deliberation round and where the moderator have to interfere, then only I will interfere. Or else no one from the jury members or from my side, we will keep silent throughout the entire program. So best wishes to everyone. So we will start the program with the first name, the Aparna Haridas from Ernakulam district, Kerala. Aparna Haridas, over to you. Switch on your video, switch on your voice, the mic. Aparna, are you here? Aparna is here. Aparna? Okay, we will give her another chance in case if it's just a technical error. Second call, we will go with the Ginny Joby. Ginny Joby, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, over to you, Ginny. Your round 1 presentation round. Jury members, please note Ginny Joby from Trivandrum. Ginny Joby from Trivandrum. Trivandrum district, Kerala.
Yes, sir. I'm here. I have some connectivity issues, sir. I don't know.
No issues, Aparna. I will call you in the next time. I mean,
Sir,
I
can
have
you hear me?
Yes, perfectly, Aparna. No issues.
Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Aparna. Can you wait for some time? Yep. And Ginny Joby completed her economics degree, and she is an active member of Human Rights Sena in St. Albert's College. Was while she was serving the while she was a student of St. Albert's College, and she had participated in a lot of social awareness program, and she was an NSS volunteer during the higher secondary schooling times. And she was awarded Army Welfare Award for 2 times. So on behalf of the social outreach of St. Albert's College, Albertian Foundation, I cordially welcome Ginny Joby Trivandrum to present the first round, the presentation round. Jury members, please note Ginny Joby. Over to you, Ginny.
Thank you, sir.
Your time starts now, 1927.
Good evening, one and all. Once, Antonio Guterres has stated that climatical crisis is a race that we are losing. but it is a race that we can or we will win. Yes, we all know that our earth is embedded with loads and loads of resources that are very much useful for human beings. From our childhood itself, we have learned and heard that nature is the most beautiful gift of God to the mankind. But what we have done, the greedy human beings have destroyed and exploited all the resources and made our earth a worse place to live. And these activities has led to many problems like environmental degradation, climatical crisis, ozone layer depletion, and so on. And these problems has made our day-to-day life a challenging one. So it is our duty to protect the environment. It is the duty of every global citizens to protect the environment. The advancement in technology, science and technological development, new innovations, inventions, and so on has made our duty to protect the environment a simpler one. But what we lack is the courage. If we are courageous enough to take the leadership in order to protect the environment, we can make sure within a few years our earth will be a brighter, safer place. And today I am here to give you 6 tips for protecting our nature, protecting our earth. Before entering into the 6 tips, let me remind you that the first and foremost thing in order to protect our earth is to love our nature, is to care for our nature. So my 6 tips altogether is named as tip nature. So my 6 tips are tip N, tip A, tip T, tip U, tip R, and tip E. So let's begin with last tip, tip E, efficient utilization of resources. The term efficient utilization of resources means getting things done in a right manner in perfect time or minimum time with minimum cost. As we all know that the resources in our earth is scarce and we have to utilize these resources in an effective manner so that we can ensure minimization of wastages or zero wastages. So it is the duty of every citizen or every human being to ensure the efficient utilization of resources. Thereby we can make sure that our earth is being or has plenty of resources for the coming generation also. Tip R. This is the second tip, and I am sure that this tip is very familiar to you all. This tip is 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. This tip is considered to be one of the most important method to protect our earth. This tip has been used for the past few years and we have to use or we have to practice this tip or this principle for the coming years also. By reducing the wastages, by reusing and recycling the resources and materials, we can make sure that our earth is being protected and we are achieving the principle of zero wastage or waste minimization. The term reduce means choosing between the alternative courses of action or alternative sources so that we can reduce the wastage. The term reuse means using an object for or an material for more and more and more purposes until its usable capacity has been destroyed. The term recycle means using the waste material itself as a resource. So, it is the duty of every citizen or every human being to ensure the principle of 3 R's in their day-to-day life. Then comes tip U. It is use of right things. Through this method, I just meant to avoid the use of plastic. We all know that plastic has been a major threat to the environment and it has made our environment highly toxic one. It has been a much huge dangerous thing or threat to the environment, to the land, water, soil and everything. If we burn it, it may cause much more dangerous. It may cause much more problems into that environment. And it is also bad for the human health. So make sure that we are not using plastics in our day-to-day life, and we can replace the plastic with more eco-friendly products. We can carry a shopping bag while we are shopping so that we can avoid the use of plastic covers. We can use paper cups and steel glasses for drinking, and we can avoid using plastic cups. And like this, using similar and very small steps or small methods, we can reduce the use of plastic and we can make our earth a beautiful place. Then comes tip T. The letter T denotes trees. As we all know that trees are very much essential for our survival, for the human being. It acts as a purifier in the atmosphere. It provides us oxygen and at the same time it absorbs all the pollutant airs in the atmosphere like nitrogen oxide, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, ozone, etc. So it is our duty to plant more and more trees. We have been cutting down many trees and we are practicing deforestation for many purposes like industrial purposes, housing purposes, developmental purposes, and everything. And it is okay until we are planting more trees. If you cut one tree, be ready to plant 10 trees instead. By that way, we can protect our earth, we can protect ourselves. Let me remind you one thing. An acre of mature trees can yearly provide oxygen for 18 people. So from the above statement itself, it is very clear that the importance of trees in our day-to-day life. So plant more trees and moreover, make sure that we are taking care of planted plants or planted trees. Then comes tip A. Actually, this tip is meant for government. Government can play a major role in protecting environment by making acts. They can make rules, regulations, pass laws, acts and everything so that they can make sure that the environment has been protected. The acts are being issued or implemented in such a way that all the citizens have to follow it. Strict punishments must be given to them who are not following these acts, these rules. Carbon pricing is one such a kind through which we are reducing the amount of carbon given to the atmosphere. So make sure that governments are implementing or enforcing laws and rules, regulations and acts for the protection of environment. And here comes the last tip. It is tip N. New generation and new innovations. We all know that youth, the mind of youth is a powerful thing. If the new generation or the youth are ready to protect the environment, it can cause changes in various fields. They can change the mindset of a human or a young people themselves. They can change the mindset of themselves and they can contribute to the protection of environment. If youth is ready to protect the environment, they are influencing their parents, elders, relatives, and their companions so that the entire society has been ready to protect the environment. So it is the duty of every younger minds to protect the nature and new innovations. New innovations can be encouraged and new innovations can be implemented so that we can protect our earth in a good manner. There are more and more innovations taking place and like air carbon project, greenhouse building project, and smoke-free project initiatives and such more innovations can be implemented and encouraged so that we can protect our earth in a good manner. So remember the 6 tips: new generation, acts, trees, use of right things, 3 R's, and efficient utilization of resources. Let me conclude my speech by quoting a famous but simple quote by Mark. Be the change that you want. the environment. If you want to see a change, see the change. Sure that our affected. Let's a better, brighter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ginny Joby. You have just touched the final time, 1937. You are in time anyway. Request the next speaker, Aparna Haridas. Aparna Haridas. She have some network trouble, network issues, but we'll give a try. Aparna, are you there? Aparna, second call. Aparna. Third and final call, Aparna. Aparna Haridas from Ernakulam. Okay, we are moving to the next participant. Mariam Philip from Kottayam. Mariam?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Perfectly. Your video is not visible yet. Yes, perfect.
Okay,
Over
sir.
to you, Mariam. Before that, I'm really sorry. Dear jury members, we have Mariam Philip from Kottayam. Please note, Mariam Philip from Kottayam. Jury members, please note, Mariam Philip from Kottayam.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. Please carry on. Over to you, Mariam Philip.
With all due respect, I'll start my presentation. Climate crisis has already been solved. We already have the facts and solutions. All we need to do is wake up and change. This is a quote by Greta Thunberg, a famous and young environmentalist. It may be a simple quote, yet it carries deeper layers of meaning. As introduced, I am Mariam Philip, pursuing my graduation in economics from Sanchez College. Yet, I take more pride in addressing myself as a concerned citizen with respect to climate change. CLIMATE, climate, a 7-letter word. How can it decide the fate of humans? How can we define it? Yes, a word that has control over the masters of the world. A simple wind traveling at a speed of 250 kilometers per hour is more than enough to bring man-made things to mere dust. A simple temperature change can make any man sweat. Shrinking glaciers, breaking up of ice, increasing temperature, irregular rainfall. Is it not enough to understand the effect of climate change? Global climate change has already had observable effect on the environment. Taken as a whole, the wide range of published evidence indicates that the net damage of climate change is quite significant and is likely to increase. Serious Earth and climate scientists go so far as to predict the very coming end of human species. Time is tight. In fact, time is very tight. Destroying the very thing essential for our existence is like punching our own weights and digging our own graves. Think about it. Since the very first attempt till today, where have we reached? To what extent have we been successful? The very establishment of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and its various conventions, the Earth Summit, various COPs, Stockholm Summit, all have clearly exclaimed that we are aware about the climate change. We are aware about the effect it has on us. We are aware about the various steps and measures which we will have to adopt. And we are also aware about the catastrophic end which we will have to face if we choose to avoid the environmental signals. Typhoon Hagibis in Japan, flooding in parts of China, India, Mississippi Basin, and Missouri Basin. Cyclone Fani and Amphan in parts of India and Bangladesh. Australian wildfire. Severe weather conditions in Midwest US. Ebola outbreak. Drought-like conditions in Uruguay and Spain. And what more, the latest COVID-19 pandemic has all tried to send out a strong message. The latest pandemic has locked up the whole world with a big fat lock. It is clear that they are all trying to send out a strong message. And now comes our reply to the message. How can we make a change? How will we reply to the message? To begin with, I would like to suggest that there should be more fruitful dialogues between countries and international treaties. And coming down to grassroots level, each individual should have concern for the environment. Small steps can make huge difference. Using of public transport, walking or cycling for short distances, segregating waste into degradable and non-degradable, recycling of plastic and paper. All are small steps which you and I can take on a daily basis. So if we choose all these small steps, we surely can make a change. In the recent wake of COVID-19, our smoky cities have been made more clear. A clear-cut example is Delhi. So it is indicating that we are not yet late. If we act today, we can make a change. Act accordingly as if there is no tomorrow. But if we choose to ignore the environmental concerns, our environment will be forced to opt for the language of revenge in the form of climate change, from which there is no return. So start walking the delicate tight rope before it breaks. Thank you.
Thank you, Miriam. The next participant, Ebin John from Calicut. Ebin John from Calicut.
So am I audible?
Yeah, perfectly, Ebin. Ebin is a civil service aspirant who is doing his degree in St. Albert's College Autonomous. And he hails from Calicut district. And I believe he loves the civil service profession a lot and who would like to serve the homeland, our India. Respected jury members, please note Ebin John from Calicut. Ebin John from Calicut. Over to you, Ebin, and the time is 1946.
Good evening all, I'm Ebin John, I'm from Calicut. And now here, we'll be talking about the crisis, climate crisis. People are nowadays saying that climate crisis is the crisis of time, crisis of our time. It indeed is the crisis of our time. And we have the topic here like climate crisis, a race that we can win. But it's not anymore can or shall, it's must. Climate crisis, a race that we must win. And I'm also happy to see the enthusiasm of the present generation in the topics related to climate change. The meeting that we are hearing now also shows the enthusiasm of the present generations towards the climate crisis. The enthusiasm combining with the science, economics, and politics will bring about a great change in our world. As we all know, this climate change or the climate crisis is an increase in the average temperature of Earth's atmosphere for a period of time. It will bring about massive and permanent ramifications. This can occur by the natural movement of Earth's variation in its orbits, but While viewing the last century, we can see that it's not just because of the variation in Earth's orbit. It is increasing so rapid, it shows that our human activities are the reason for that. It means you and me, we are the reasons for that. The greenhouse gases released to the Earth's atmosphere traps heat from the sun, gradually increases the atmospheric temperature. CO2, one of the major contributor in the greenhouse gases, is increasing so abruptly since the Industrial Revolution. We are moving in a record pace of CO2 emission. Last year, it has increased by 2%, which means it is greater than the average of last 10 years. UN has said that we have warmed by 1 degree since the Industrial Revolution, that is from the 1800s. Even if we warm by 1.5 or 2 degree by the end of 2100, we'll be fine. But things are not going so smooth. At the present state, we will attain this warm, that is an increase of 1.5 to 2 degree in our Earth's atmosphere just within next 10 years. It just means catastrophe. We have no tomorrow, it's just today. We have to start from today. So we have a lot of challenges to face. We have a lot of things to overcome. We have to create awareness. We have to advance in technologies, a lot of things to do. One of the biggest challenges that we face is that the people know about climate change, climate crisis, and they say that the problem is distant by time. They say that it won't affect us within our lifetime. It is kind of selfish. The thing that which would not affect our lifetime, it might affect the next generation. It's our duty to help the next generation. We can be the life givers and the life takers of next generation. We can give them a beautiful life if that by the means of our actions today. And we have a great challenge from other peoples, the skeptics. They say that climate change or the climate crisis, as the climate scientists say, such things doesn't exist at all. The climate change or the warming up of the atmosphere is natural. It has to occur. That's what they say. And I have to say that it's natural, but the thing is that the rate at which it is happening, that's the alarming thing. The rate at which the CO2 emission, the rate at which the Earth is warming up, it is so alarming. It might give us a great catastrophe on our way. All these people now also say that the problem is distant by time. We have seen the floods that occurred in 2018, and it just occurred in 2019 also. Now we are waiting for the one in 2020. A flood like that, severe one, only occurred back in 1918 in Kerala, which was 100 years back. And now in 2018 we had, 2019 we had, now we are waiting for the 2020. That means things have changed. These are going so frequent. The floods and things are going so frequent. And one more thing, we are blaming the policymakers these days that they are not bringing up any policies so efficient to overcome this climate crisis. One of the adverse effect from the policymakers is that they focus their investments greatly on the negative emission technologies. We have no negative emission technologies right now, and they say that we are almost the people, we are actually in a path of reducing the carbon emission, but these people are trying to attain negative emission. They're investing large amount in the technologies of negative emission, which actually does not exist. And it's a good idea to have a time investment in that, but completely relying upon a technology which actually does not exist is like playing a Russian roulette on our heads itself. So where should we find the solution? Okay, let's leave the part of the technology for the scientists and the people who are working hard for that. But the thing is that they need time. We normal people, we ordinary people are the ones who should give them the time to do that. How can we offer them the time? Through our lifestyle, through our activities. So I'm getting into the psychological aspects, leaving the technology there. It is proven that the social competitions, comparisons, and behavioral sciences have a great effect on people's mind. The UCLA, University of California and Los Angeles, conducted a study, and its name was Engage. In that program, they arranged tracking meters at each and every houses and tracked the energy consumption of each house. When we get the bill of our energy consumption, we will be compared to our neighbors. It is by seeing this competitive behavior, people of these places started to reduce their energy consumption. And within a course of time, within a 1 year, they were able to save a great amount of energy, which can even power up a city, a small city like Miami. It is a good news. And large companies are tapping into these behavioral sciences these days. It is a great news at all. And you must have heard about the Virgin Atlantic Airways. They are actually fuel use. Within a period of time, that within 1 year, they were able to save 6,800 tons of fuel, and it prevented 21,000 tons of CO2 into the atmosphere within 1 year. All that they did was change a little things in their altitude of flying, speed, and also routes. This brought about the prevention of emission of 21,000 tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. So these kind of the behavioral nudges are the ones that will help us to overcome this climate crisis together as a society. We need to move together as a society. We have to do the things, the awareness to the skeptics and the people who think that climate crisis is a thing that is distant by time. We have to advance in technologies. We have to change our lifestyle. Change in every field is only one thing that will help us to overcome this crisis. The main thing that we can all do is the one thing, that the behavioral changes or the lifestyle changes, slight changes in the energy consumption, using less meat, all these kind of things, using less public transport more public transport system, and avoiding the personal transport system. But during these days of COVID-19 pandemic, it's pretty much preferred to use the personal transport systems. So these kind of behavioral nudges, that's what I aim to speak of. That are what we require to have a great change within a short period of time. We humans modestly have named us as Homo sapiens, which mean wise men. This wisdom itself has told us that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if we are wise, we should not be shocked to see the crisis that occur during these days, the droughts, the frequent droughts, or the floods, or the hurricanes, storms, anything that could. We should not be shocked to see that, because all these are because of the action of we human beings. The real crisis is not an environmental destruction or the climate crisis or the global warming. It's actually us. All these problems that we see are the byproducts and symptoms of we human beings. It's we who should change. We should move from apathy to action. The move from apathy to action. That's where the result will come. Though we are part of the cause, we can also be the part of the solution, because it's we the people who can become the life givers and life takers. We together join, and we shall overcome this. A small flutter of the wings of a butterfly can cause a typhoon halfway across the world. Like this, when enough people come together, we shall overcome this problem. We shall bring back our world, and we can do that. And as I said before, it's not we can, it's we must. Thank you.
Thank you, Apin. Perfect. So, dear participants, I just want to share one more thing. In case if you are, 2 minutes before your 2 minutes before your presentation's time, that's while the presentation time is 8 minutes, you will see an icon like this. Al-Bashir Foundation really wants to say something. That means that is a warning sign. Can you see that sign? All the participants, can you see that icon? Okay.
Negative, sir. I can't see that.
You can't. Are you okay? So I will give a warning sign like some sounds. I tried with my mobile, but I thought that it will be disturbing for your participants. So I will give only the final warning sign. That's at 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'm not going to give a warning sign. The final time will be informed to you. Is that okay? Because I don't want to disturb you in between. So I'm quite sure that everyone have kept the timing. All right. Is that okay for every participant? Or should I give a warning time at 8, after 8 minutes? Participants, please answer. I take that silence as a consent. So I will give only a final warning at after 10. So moving to the next participants, Sonu is Shibu, who hails from engineering background, and he's from the Alapura district. Sonu is Shibu. Sonu, over to you. And dear respected jury members, please note Sonu is Shibu from Alapura. Sonu is Shibu from Alapura.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Perfectly, Shibu. Perfectly, Sonu. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, sir. Can I speak now?
Just 1 second. Jury members.
Okay.
Over to you, Sonu.
Okay. My dear friends, beloveds, fellow companions of Earth, I don't find any phrases or sentences which is much meaningful than this to greet you, since I am addressing not only for me, but for the entire universe. The current climatic crisis, yes, it is a race we can win, but we have to be in it in order to win it. In the modern world where the human activities have changed the atmosphere in unexpected ways, it is time to speak up for the fact. It is time to broaden the circle of those who are willing to stand for future. In fact, it is becoming too late to raise our voice, as every second takes away our time to reach our destination. According to recent reports, Global Bank is spending $1.9 trillion for fossil fuels. Hence, it will not turn out to be a surprise if you hear the fact that the current level of greenhouse gas emissions stands top among the past 3 million years ago. Our global temperature is increasing day by day. Thick permanent sea ice north of Greenland have started to melt. Glacier erosion in the Arctic region of northern hemisphere is becoming more severe. Soot and ashes have formed as a result of forest fires, has led to the blackening of glaciers and ice caps. Our sea level is rising by feet for decades. Ozone layer depletions are leading to increased proximity towards skin cancers due to the exposure of UV rays. Huge economic losses are being faced by different nations across the world due to the climatic devastations. All these have happened to the more overexploitation of our nature. But we should realize the fact that as we compete for a better economy, Earth, our mother planet, comes as a common factor. So we are at the edge of the time to act studiously to protect our mother planet. There are 1.8 billion young people residing in this planet across different nations like me. The future of our planet lies in these numbers. From the 19-year-old Karen Girard and the teenager Greta Thunberg to the 27-year-old Ida Hammer, who have raised their voice in front of the world to protect the nature. The fact is that no one can stand on a sideline in this case, but everybody has to be on the front line and should raise our voice for the existence of our environment. There lies a lot of remedial measures. Measures that will ensure a pollution-free environment that boost up our global economy. The first step lies in the transition of a fossil fuel based energy to a new renewable based energy function. The approach needs to be holistic. We have seen a lot of initiatives as an example, like the 4 million solar home implementations that have created more than 150,000 job opportunities in Bangladesh, the rise of solar farms in Morocco, and the implementation of the world's first floating wind farm in Scotland. All these are giving positive ideas to renewable energy-based economy across all aspects of near future. But for attaining these goals, we need to have ambitious leadership, proper coordination, and make the nations aware that by embracing renewable energy, we can only get positives and we can trigger our economic growth by boosting much faster than which we have used to be on depending fossil fuel-based economy. The United Nations have a crucial role in this. The UN have to make use of all communities across the world to engage in this aspect by empowering them with necessary tools and awareness. We are conducting the UN CCs at regular intervals. We have passed several initiatives ranging from the Kyoto Protocol way back in 1997 that put forward a mark for the future, making it parties to reduce the level of greenhouse gas emissions step by step. To the Paris Agreement signed at the 21st Conference of Parties held at Paris, which drafted an affirmation to reduce the rising average global temperature by 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius in the near future. But the problem is that these consignments are only narrow to the course. We can't make a firm affirmation because of lack of ambitious leadership. In order to make these actions come into effectiveness, the need for a root level system implementation is essential. How to initiate a root level system? The UN can ask all of its constituent members to make use of the ground level system that they have in their nation to make the decision to reach the grassroots level. For example, myself, I'm residing in a nation where the population exceeds over 130 crores. We have lots of governmental and non-governmental youth student organizations like the National Service Scheme, NYK, NCC, etc. All these have access to almost all areas in the nation. So if the government can make these organizations in a coordinated manner work together, we can reach the root level areas. Like these, all other nations have these kind of organizations. So if they are ready to use this youth power, they can reach our goals. Next important aspect is the financial aid needed for the implementation of a renewable energy source and its utilization. The International Monetary Fund can join hands with UN in this case. In developed and developed countries where the energy requirements are high, hence when a nation comes with a plan to divert their economy to a cleaner energy-based system, the IMF can provide funding for such initiatives. Moreover, there are a lot of young scientific experts in different parts of the world who have some alternative ideas for ensuring a cleaner energy system. The UN can provide a platform for those aspirants by providing by raising their funds and giving them a platform in the international arena. I also have another proposal. Since we are conducting conference of parties at regular intervals, where several initiatives like the Paris agreements have been formulated, there we can assure the formulation of a global consignment to ensure the matter regarding granting permission to environmentally vulnerable sectors like quarrying, mining, etc. If that becomes possible, each and every country can formulate and reach a uniform criteria or amendment regarding granting permission to the opening of the sectors like this. Another factor regarding the current climate crisis is the lack of awareness, especially among the farmers throughout the world. Often, farming practices in environmentally vulnerable areas are leading to severe disasters and at last to heavy devastations. The UN can combine, pressurize its members to create proper awareness among their farmers' organizations, providing international recognition for countries who have taken active steps in this will encourage others to work for this plan. Another fact is related to the pollution caused by the aviation sector. In these decades, many of the major developed and developing countries, people are often using or relying upon this domestic flights for casualty cases. The amount of harmful gases released into the atmosphere from the aviation sector is immensely contributing towards the global warming. Hence, in those countries where eco-friendly transport systems are available, like the high-speed electric train network in developed nations, can be an alternative transmission into a less emission of greenhouse gas. It is recorded that 80% of greenhouse gas comes from the G20 nations. Hence, it is their duty to come forward and be a part of this mission. The government can take strict actions and measures to make a cleaner environment. As the former US President Barack Obama has said, a global carbon clean energy can be the engine for the decades to come. We have to realize the fact that the amount we are investing on the renewable-based energy systems makes only a fraction of what is just what we got from fossil fuels. Now it is time to implement. Let us assure that we have no compromise on any areas that affects the balance of our nature. Let us together build a greener economy and make our planet greenery feature.
Thank you, Sonu. Dear jury members, we are moving to the next participant. Aparna Haridas, are you there? Aparna Haridas.
Yes, yes, sir, I am here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Whether your video device, yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Sir,
I know that you face a lot of network issues there, but give a try anyway. Don't worry about the network. I request you to switch off your video so that we can ensure the data. Data for the audio. All right. Don't worry on that part. I just want to ensure. Dear jury members, please note Aparna Haridas from Ernakulam. If you're confident, you can switch on the video. I don't have any issues, but as you face a lot of network issues, I thought that sharing that would help your data to be saved. That's up to you anyway.
okay, sir.
Jury members,
Thank you, sir.
please note.
Okay.
Yes, over to you,
Okay,
Aparna Haridas, 20:09. Your time starts now, 20:09.
Okay, sir. Good evening, respected jury members, Shane sir, and other participants. My name is Abarna Haridas. I'm an aquaculture student at St. Albert's College. Change is coming, whether you like it or not. These are the words of 17-year-old Swedish environmental activist Greta Thunberg. As we all know, the greatest threat that we are facing today is climate change. It's very dangerous. If we don't tackle it, then its consequences are deadly. It's our single greatest security threat. Also, we need to pay attention to some important things, to activities that cause it, enhance our resilience to its effect, and talk about it. The man-made climate change is very scary real thing. Over the last several decades, the global temperature has rapidly risen. Scientists are concerned that explains one thing, that is rise in greenhouse gas emissions due to human activities. However, some people say that climate change is natural and we shouldn't worry about it. But is it only natural or anything more? The answer will probably be it's more than just natural, as in the last 200 years, the emission from fossil fuels is only caused by human activities. Since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, the percentage of carbon dioxide has increased in our atmosphere. Every week, we are seeing new and undeniable climate events, evidence that accelerated climate change is here right now. Our oceans are acidifying with methane plumes rising up from the ocean floor. We are seeing extreme weather events. By 2050, sea levels could be so high that 300 million people in coastal communities will face severe floods at least once a year. Over the last 20 years, the sea level has risen at roughly twice the speed of the preceding 18 years. In addition, the international community has sworn to avoid a rise of more than 2 degrees Celsius in the average global temperature by 2100 in comparison to pre-industrial levels. But many scientists believe that the figures will be higher. So, what will happen if the Earth temperature rises up by a few degrees? For a short period, it doesn't affect badly, but in the long run, the consequences will be devastating. First, the Amazon, then the California, then the Australia. Wildfires were catastrophic in 2019. Everyone on the planet benefits that the health of the Amazon, as its trees take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. The Amazon plays a huge role in pulling planet warming greenhouse gases out of its atmosphere. Without it, climate change speeds up. But as the world's largest rainforest is eaten away by logging, mining, and
Aparna,
agribusiness.
Aparna, I'm
Yes,
really
sir.
sorry. Can you switch on to your video also? Just give a try. All right. Yeah. I'm really sorry. You can continue.
Sir, can you
Yeah.
see me?
I can. Yeah. I can see you now.
Okay, sir.
Your video is gone.
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Can you see me, sir?
Not now. Yeah. Now I can see you. Perfect. Carry on.
Okay, sir. Can you see me?
Yes, but
Hello, sir.
in between, I have lost you.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Aparna.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can
Can you
hear
hear?
you, but
Can you?
I just want to ensure that jury members have asked me to ask you to on the video. You can continue, Aparna. You can continue with your audio and video on. You should on your video as well as the video. I mean audio. Yeah. Carry on. Carry on, Aparna. Aparna, are you with us? Aparna. Hello, Aparna.
Sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Continue. Continue. You can switch off the video, or else I believe that that's a data network issue. Okay. Hello. Are you there? I'm really sorry that I intervened in between. But as it's also a global dialogue, we also we also treat this as a contest too. So for the fair and equal things, to ensure the fair and equal uh, conditions, I have to intervene. I'm really sorry for that. We'll continue with the next participant. Aparna, for the last call. Aparna, I'm really sorry. We will move to the next participant. Teja Therese Tommy from Ernakulam. Teja, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yes, yes, Teja. I can see you. Teja Therese Tommy from Ernakulam. Switch on your video. Yes. Please ensure that your video is always turned on. Aparna, we will come back to you in the next time. I'm just starting with the next participant. Okay.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Is that Teja?
I think.
Whose voice is Teja?
No, sir. It was Aparna, I think.
Okay. Let she come back. Okay. Teja, are you ready for the presentation? It's over to you then. The timing is 2016 as of now. 2016. You can take till 2026. Jury members, please note Teja Therese Tommy. Teja Therese Tommy. Over to you, Teja Therese Tommy. 2016.
I'm honored to be here today. I stand before you not as an expert, but as a concerned citizen. Now, I would like to quote the revolutionary words of Greta Thunberg, which has shaken the minds of world leaders. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, my childhood, with your empty words. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystem is collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is about money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. Scientific evidence points to the fact that life on Earth, as we know, it is currently undergoing a process of mass extinction, the sixth in the history of the planet to be precise. Human beings are accelerating this with their reckless exploitation of nature and through their irresponsible management and waste of precious resources. Every week, we are seeing new and undeniable climate events, evidence that accelerate climate change is here right now. COVID-19 could well be nature's warning against climate change because microbes are the first to ring an alarm, and this could be just the first wave of the pandemic with bigger outbreaks. Isn't it odd that the only thing helping us reduce carbon emissions globally at the time we need that the most is the coronavirus? What if this crisis is nature's blessing in disguise? I came across these words from the recent The Hindu article by Mr. Rohit Gupta, science historian. According to him, the current pandemic is not the real threat, but simply a foreshadow of what is coming. Nature has pulled the rug from under our feet, he said. History shows us that pandemics can start wars or end ongoing wars. This coronavirus has the power to even redraw geopolitical boundaries. Climate change is not just a topic that we see in students' textbooks. As I remember my childhood, I used to read the back pages of the classmate notebook, which gave GK informations, and I saw 3 R's reduce, reuse, and recycle from a young age. So, it's a fact. Look around. Droughts are intensifying. Our oceans are acidifying with methane plumes rising up from the ocean floor, and now we see these extreme weather events. The chief of US Navy's Pacific Command, Admiral Samuel Locklear, once said, "Climate change is our greatest security threat." I would like to repeat his words. Climate change is our greatest security threat. We face this difficult but achievable task. Now must be our moment for action. If we want to defer our extinction or to slow down its pace, we will need strategies that are not short sighted or selfish. Despite Delhi in India topping the list of the most populated cities in the world many times, talk of clean air, something that comes and goes with the winter. Sustainable development and responsible progress have to be ensured if we are to pass on the beauty, bliss, and bounty of nature to future generations. Children should be taught about the conservation of nature in their young ages. Bhutan makes their little citizens not only brilliant in academics but also in nature protection. Their school grades include the marks from their actions in protecting nature. We must ensure that we don't consume the planet all with its lush of forests and fields, the melody of birds and waves, the changing rhythm of oceans and skies. It is our duty to leave their joys for generations to come. The environment matters, not because nature needs us, but because it is crucial for our survival and our planet. Clean air and a livable climate are inalienable human rights, says Leonardo DiCaprio, the UN messenger of peace. We are now using sanitizer, mask, and all. We are familiar with it. Even a 1-year-old child is reciting mask, sanitizer, and all. Children should be taught at a very young age how to protect nature, how to respect her, and how to preserve nature. Only then can education can do something with as laboratory is so we should mold the mind of the young children for seed. Our face channel will and
Audio problem. Hello.
Teja? Yeah, yes, sir. Teja, we have lost you.
so I have finished.
Okay. Yeah, the last sentence we couldn't hear properly. I'm really sorry for that. Maybe the
May I
network
repeat that?
issues. Definitely, you can. Yes, Teja.
As J.C. Bose has put it, the true laboratory is the mind. So we should mold the minds of the young children to sow the seeds of love, care, and respect the nature. Clean air and a livable climate are inalienable human rights, says Leonardo DiCaprio, the UN messenger of peace. We can face this challenge with courage and honesty. Thank you.
Thank you, Teja Teres Tommy. And we have next participant, Malavika Rijit from Ernakulam. Malavika Rijit. Malavika, are you there? Unmute yourself, Malavika. Malavika, you have to unmute yourself. Have you identified that icon to unmute? The red color mic symbol. Okay. Click on the, click on the screen. Click on the screen, then you will see a red button. Are you using mobile or, yeah, you have unmuted yourself.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay, sir.
You sit somewhere and please don't move your mobile cam. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So can I start now?
Just one sec. Please adjust your cam a little bit. Yeah, now it's perfect. Now it's perfect. Yeah. Jury members, please note Malavika Rijit from Ernakulam.
Okay, Malavika.
Malavika, time is 20:25 now. You can take till 20:35. Over to you,
Okay,
Malavika.
sir. Okay.
Malavika? I think we have lost connectivity with Malavika. Malavika? Okay, we are moving with the next participant. We'll give one more chance for Malavika later. We will move with the next participant, Sanchez Khalita.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Yes. Sanchez is a graduation student. He completed his graduation in physics from Guwahati University, and now he is pursuing 2 years Bachelor of Education program at Dr. Anita Baruha Sharma College of Education in Guwahati, Assam. In 2010, he did his first project presentation and was selected as a state-level National Children's Science Congress in Assam as a member. In 2015, he presented a paper in the 3rd National Student Symposium on Physics, NSSP, organized by the Indian Association of Physics Teachers IAPT in Punjab University, Chandigarh. In 2016, he presented a paper in National Seminar on Science and Technology for the Sustainable Development in the 61st Annual Technical Session of Assam Science University. He also participated in many national and international seminars related to the space science and was a delegate in the 52nd Conference of Assam Science University in 2019. A science worker from Assam Science Society of Golapara branch. Recently, during this lockdown, he had completed an online course in astrophysics from the Australian National University. He likes the space and love astrophysics, and he would like to develop some technical that can make our Earth green again. He is a licensed ham radio operations with a call sign VU3 RIV issued by Wireless Planning Commission and Government of India. And for your information, Sanjay, we have the first postgraduate program in space science that is running in St. Albert's College Autonomous. So you should check in sometimes in St. Albert's College and the Department of Space Science. And the course was designed early in 2006 with the help of the ISRO. And the UGC had sanctioned it under innovative scheme of then project. And we were the first in the nation to organize such a postgraduate program in India. So please be in touch with the Department of Space Science, which is under the Department of Physics, basically, under the Board of Studies of Physics. So please be in touch with the people over there in the Department of Space Science and the Physics. And we have an eminent professor who hails from the Department of Physics, who serves as the principal of St. Albert's College. So it's a wonderful time for you. Sure. So moving to my responsibility, jury members, please note we have Sanchez Khalita from Guwahati, Assam, the next participant.
Okay, Sanjay.
Sanjay, the time is 2029. 2039 is your final time. Over to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Perfectly.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everybody present in this panel and everyone who is observing this live. With due respect, I would like to start my presentation. So, as you all know, that we are currently addressing the issue of climate crisis, and a lot has been told earlier. My previous speakers also said many things about it. So what is it actually in this current situation? The Earth is already facing a serious health issue, and due to that we are looking some serious social impact on our life and also economic one. But this is not the danger yet, because we are going to observe, or we are going to look a greater danger in future, and it would be in the form of climate change. And I believe, as the intelligent species of this planet, we can overcome this situation. Now the problem is we have to work at the grassroots level. In this about this topic about the climate change, we are talking much more, and we are not looking that observable result yet. But yes, we are doing discussion, but the work is not been done. So I would like to take your attention on what we can do rather than what its impact is, because one need not to be a rocket scientist to see that the impacts on this of climate change in our art or in our environment. We are observing every single signs which are related to climate change, like the hurricanes or hurricanes which are more powerful than previous one. So now I would like to take your attention to what we can do. So it should be done not in the institutional level, it should be done at a grassroots level. Yes, it should be done in institutional level, but the common thing is everybody should implement it. Now, how can we do it? First of all, we can cut down our carbon emission. How can we do that? Carbon emission, how can we cut down our carbon emission? There are very simple processes which we can do. First of all, use green vehicles. Green vehicles, that means you can use your bicycles. You can use bicycle at least twice a day for commute. So it will always obviously cut down the carbon emission, because it will take less traffic to the road. As a result of that, we will have less traffic jams and less carbon emissions will be there. Then we can switch to electric vehicles. So electric vehicles are also a good option which we can go to. Now we can do some tricks here to promote electric vehicles. How can we do that? So first and foremost, colleges and universities can do a very good thing here. They can either cut down a small percentage of their fee to the students who are using these electric vehicles to commute, or they can give them some what I can say, what I should say, they can give them some specific remarks that yes, this person is doing something for the environment. And similarly in workplaces also, employees who are using electric vehicles, they can be given an incentive for using electric vehicles and all, or a recognition. They could be given a recognition. And that is what we can do. Again, if we don't own an electric vehicle, that's all right, no problem there. But we are having our own vehicle, so what we can do, we can change the oil at regular time. We can see the pressure of our tire. Then we can we should not go over speed in the highways, or quick acceleration or quick deceleration. We shouldn't do that. Then what we can do, we shouldn't carry overloads in our car while traveling far distance. So what it does, it reduces your mileage and it uses your fuel very fast. So if we do this, then obviously we can cut down the fuel consumption there. Then moving to next, what we can do, we can use off-grid power sources. Like if we completely get dependent on solar power, wind power, or for instance, we can say about nuclear power, then I mentioned about hydroelectricity, geothermal power, tidal energy. So if we can harness that, then we can obviously cut down the carbon emission. Now, in average Indian household, almost it takes 3 kilowatts of electric energy per day. Now, a 3 kilowatt power generator or solar power generator cost around 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees, Indian rupees, and that includes the installation charge. Now, 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees is a huge amount of money for some, but you can see it is the cost of an entry-level car in Indian market. So I think instead of buying a car, we can install that solar power station in our home. So that can be one thing. Then we can use or we can design our home in a unique ways. So that will be more energy efficient. Use more energy efficient or energy star ratings, what we can say, these appliances which uses less energy. So there are many nowadays we can see it in the electronics. There are stars ratings. The more the star, the less power it consumes. The better, the more the power, the better it is. The more the star, the better it is. In terms of power consumption. So you can do that. Then what we can do, we can just use every natural resources which are available to us. Then we can just use this one. Solar, for instance, if we are using geyser for warming up the water, we can use solar heater there. So solar heater for warming up the water. Then we can do also one thing, that is vertical gardening should be promoted in cities. So that the concrete jungles can be converted again to green jungles again. So that will be one thing. Then again, due to this climate change, we are watching a very irregularity in rainfalls. So as a result of what, a serious drought condition is going on in some places. So water harvesting, rainwater harvesting should be done. Tamil Nadu in 2001, it became the first state of India which made compulsory that we should use water harvesting in our while planning a building out there. Then also for designing a home, you can also visit or see that one home is their eco home. That is name is Prakrit, I think. It is owned by Snehal Patel in Surat, Gujarat, I guess, if I'm not wrong. You can search it in Google. So that gives us a great example how can we use our natural resources to stay and make a green environment. Then of course government have to play an important role here. Government's policies are there which will play an important role. Then international communities will also have to play an important role by giving some techniques, technical advisories and financial support to the countries which are inferior or which are underdeveloping or in developing state or underdeveloped countries. So because they are the countries which are using more carbon emission, they are doing more and more carbon emission. So those are few things which we have to see out there. So again, I would like to say that this is a thing which we have to work as a combined one, because one cannot do anything, or the government can't do anything by themselves, or we or a single person can't do anything by themselves. It's like a cricket match. So everyone have to play their role. So when we'll play our own part, then only we can come and overcome this problem of this climate change. Now, these are few steps which we can take. Then, along with my previous speakers who said very well. So along with that, if we combine these few steps, then I'm sure that we can overcome the situation of climate change. Again, I would like to say this is the topic which does not need discussion now. This needs action. So come together. Let's rise up and stand up together and fight against this climate change. I'm sure we can win this fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. One more participant is there. Malavika, are you here? Malavika? Now it is almost 20:38. We have to move on. Malavika had messaged me that she have network issue, but she will try to rejoin with us. So the second call, Malavika, we have to move to the next round of deliberations. So Malavika, are you here? The final call, Malavika, are you here? Okay, we are moving to the next round. The next round is a deliberation round. Request all the participants to be here, be in the webinar room during the next 20 to 30 minutes, because it's a deliberation round where you have to share without any interference from our part. So for the next 20 minutes or to 30 minutes, I won't interfere in between. So we believe that in the deliberation round, you will be given the full freedom to interact with your fellow participants, and even directly, you can clarify your points, what you have said earlier, in case if you want to share much more and give a new thing. If you want to supplement some points of the people, your fellow participant, you are free to do it. So the time starts now, 20:40 now. You can take another 20 minutes to 30 minutes based on the discussions. Maximum that we can allow is the 30 minutes. So repeating, Aparna Haridas, are you here? No. Okay. Ginny Joby, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Mariam Philip, are you here? Mariam? No. Mariam? Okay. Ebin John, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Ebin, yes. Sonu Shibu, are you here? Sonu? Sonu Shibu. Okay. Teja Teres Tommy? Teja? No.
Yes, sir.
Malavika,
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Teja is here. Okay, perfect. Teja. Malavika Rajit? Malavika is also not there. Okay. Sanchez Khalita?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So over to you. Dear jury members, I just confirmed people Ginny Joby, Ebin John, Sonu is Shibu, but he just left. Sonu, final call. Sonu is also not there. Teja Teres is there, and Sanjay Khalita is there. Mariam Philip is here. Mariam, you have to speak up. Mariam, please switch on your video and audio. The next 20 minutes you have to, yes. Your audio is not, your audio, repeat. Hello. Mariam, unplug your mic and pin it again. It is not audible for me. Okay, we are moving with it. Jury members, please note we have Mariam Philip, Ginny Joby, Ebin John, Sonu Yeshibu, Teja Teres, and Sanjay Khalita. Over to you, dear participants.
Sir, is it audible now?
It's audible, Mariam.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Dear participants, it's the time for the second round. It's over to you.
So, with all due respect of my worthy opponents and respectable panel of jury, I was just like noting down the points which the other contestants had to, present, and I ended up with 3 whole pages. See, like, and I was wondering, see, if a small group of 6 to 7 people have so much ideas, why isn't there any change? And why is there a topic so relevant that we are here in this room discussing it? So much is said and much more to be done. I think that maybe we are not aware about the whole picture, the true picture. If a small state like Kerala, with a good number of population and a good rate of literacy, if each person knows the exact gravity of the crisis, it is more than enough to have an impact on the climate change, the global climate change. It is actually worse than we know. The global warming is speeding up, and 20 warmers.
Can you hear me?
Carry on.
Sir, is it for me or for...
Please continue.
Okay, you can interrupt me if in between. It's okay. I know I'm taking a bit long. You can continue. I'll join in between.
Yeah, so already looks and methods. How we overcome the problem, degradation. How can we overcome the problem of political crisis? And I have always that. What last is, as my friend said, we are more aspects of man. What we learn is that courage is enough. If courage to take the to protect the and to reduce the problem of education.
Dear participants, I'm sorry to interfere. Please ensure that if you are not speaking, you have to switch off your mics, especially Mariam.
What, sir?
Yours, in case if you are not using your mic, if you are not saying anything, you have to switch off your mic, or else it will echo. Sanjay, you have to switch off in case if you are not speaking. All the hub in the sense, Sonu, you have to switch off the mic.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, if you are not, I'm really sorry to interfere in between. If in case if you are sharing something, you can share. There is no confusions, but one at a time. Because as it's a webinar room, we can't allow 2 people to speak at the same time simultaneously. So you have to switch off your mic and switch on your mic, and it have to be in correlation with everyone. I mean, you have to collaborate and work together as a team. And this round is for that, right? So over to you, dear participants.
Okay, so we must need international frameworks, technology, human capital, and financial capital in order to ensure that our environment has been protected. So that's it.
Okay, I would like to come in. Now, see what is the problem we are getting. If we go to the grassroots level, we talk to the farmer. That see, these are the issues we are getting about climate change or this and that. Now, the straight answer you will get, why should I care about it? Now that's the problem what we are getting. We have to educate the people at the grassroots level. Now see, we are just keeping all these environmental issues in our textbook, only in textbook, but we are not educating our children to use it. Now see, I'm going to give you a common example. In our home, when we are not in our room at night or the light used to be on, if we start by just when we're leaving the room, if we just switch off the light in that room and go away, when we come back when the light is needed, then only if we switch on the light, that also shows a great thing. Now a child in our home will learn from them, and as a child, when I was in our home as a child, I learned that. Now that is the thing which we can give to our children. Now again, I must say, colleges and schools and universities are going to play a very important and crucial role here, because we have to make a model there. If a school or college or university is completely dependent on solar power or wind power or any such renewable resources, any such renewable things, then what will happen? The child will understand the importance of that thing. Now otherwise what happens? Why should I care? That is the common thing which we are getting. Now we are studying, we have taken some degree and we know about the climate crisis, because that's for us, because a person who is at the ground level, he doesn't know about it. He's just worried about his daily bread and butter, but he's not worried about the climate change. Because now we have to make them understand that what can be the issues and how can we overcome. We have to make them understand that it's not for you, it's for your future generation. So that's the thing which we have to work, and a great thing is to be done there. And I believe we can work in that field, because in this small webinar room, I have learned and I have many things have been shared. So taking from foreign policies, it may be policies of the government, or using many things are there. But this is also one thing which we should have to see. Now this thing starts right from your home. It doesn't start from anything outside. It will start right from your home. So that's it. And if I get any further point, I will add up. Thank you.
Absolutely, what Sanjay has said has a lot of importance in our modern society, since, as I have mentioned, that the formation of a grassroots level is very important when considering the fact that in a country, for example, we are residing in a country where the population exceeds over 130 crore. So we have to be make a widespread contact arena in order to ensure that the decisions taken from the UN and the other top authorities reaches the grassroots level. So for that, we can collaborate the ideas and collaborate with political and as well as governmental organizations. As I have mentioned, like NSS, National Service Team, for example, is having lot of root level approach in our nation across different schools, colleges. So if an integration with such organization comes up with, particularly when considering the fact that a country has to a government of a country has to take initiative in this. They have to collaborate with this, with other organizations, and make sure that these decisions or these kind of awareness reaches the grassroots level. You have to make the farmer taking farming practices in an environmentally vulnerable area. It is very difficult to make him aware. So we have to take a grassroots level, like what Sanjay have said, in order to educate a child to switch off the light while going out of home. So we have to make a initiation as well as a chain-like response, which will reach the grassroots level by collaborating with this organization. That's all.
Yes, I would like to add some points with what my friend said, Sanjay said. The keyword is important here. The starting from the grassroots level. That's the keyword here. The grassroots level. And my friend, I feel that youngsters nowadays are showing great interest in seeing climate changes. So some of youngsters start from the grassroots. That's what we should have. And to add some point is that my friend Sanjay Khalita added some points related to physics and everything. So that switching over to electric vehicles and all. Yeah, that's an important thing that we have to do. It's like that we can use electric vehicles. The thing is that the key fact that we have to start now, switching over to other things, that we have to start now. Just think,
Ebin, you are not audible for us. You have some network connectivity issue. Switch off your video and repeat it once again. I'm really sorry for that. Yeah.
So am I audible
Perfectly.
now? So till which part I was clear?
From the second sentence,
Which part I was clear?
second sentence onwards, I was not clear. It was not clear for me. I remember hearing the keyword grassroots level. After that, it was not clear for me. I'm not quite sure about what about others, but I was not clear after that.
So my friend Sanjay Khalita said the word that starting from grassroots level. The key word grassroots level. That's the most important thing here. And one of my other friends said, Maria Phillips said, the interest of the youngsters in this field nowadays are increasing. The issues relating climate change and all. So the combining both these things, starting from a grassroots level with the enthusiasm of the youngsters and all other people, that's where we should start. And one other thing that my friend Sanjay Khalita added in a very easy manner of physics that which everyone would understand, that he said of switching over to electric vehicles and encouraging the use of such vehicles in our economy. And if we are switching over to such a kind of transport systems and all, we should start it right now. We don't have any tomorrow of starting it, because even if we start to use electric vehicles some years later, it will not have a great result, because the wear and tear of the tires, the brakings, these things also can emit carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So that means there will not be great changes in that. So what we should do that is start from here. And one of my other friends, Sonu, said that the political actions should combine up with the enthusiasm of the people. That's what really important is. We should have a combination of the science, technology, politics, economics together. What we need actually is not the statues which shows the integrity of the nations, but actually what we need is the renewable source of energies for the existence. The first thing is existence, not integrity. So what we first need is existence. We should make the path clear first. For that we need the help of the politics, policymakers, everyone for that.
So I just want to add some points to the points that were discussed by my dear dear friends. So of course I agree that youth has an important role in maintaining and preserving the environment. All we have repeated the same word in all our speeches, Greta Thunberg. So Greta was a good environmental activist who, first of all, she was alone. She was alone. She was carrying out the protest, and afterwards she was followed by thousands and millions of youngsters. They were leaving their school and they were continuing to protest. But I want to add, like, of course, youth has an important role, but of course, the elders also, the adults also have some part, because even though Greta has carried out the protest for almost 2 years, I think, but still there was no big changes happen to our environment. Our environment is carrying out its changes now due to the the COVID-19 epidemic outbreak. It is there was no big changes were seen during those years before 2020. So all this shows that not only the youth but also the adults also have to take necessary steps. With a massive scale of protest along with the youth and adults, we can carry out uh, we can carry out the protest to a success level. Because I just noticed that along with the youth, nothing can be done. We can only pressurize the government, but it's their decision. So I think adults also have to take. They have to teach their children. They have to teach their children by their actions, by teaching their children and taking away no, I mean excess release of automobile exhaust is one of the major reasons of greenhouse effect. So that means we have to reduce our I mean the use of reduction in private vehicles has to be done. Like I used to watch Japan videos on Japan in YouTube, and I noticed that almost most of the population is using bicycles there, so which is an eco-friendly vehicle. So let's adopt some measures like that in order to reduce the automobile exhaust. So all this are in the hands of adults also. So youth, yes, half of the part can be done by the youth, but the rest of the half is in the hands of we adults, the adults also. So all of us have to do it in a massive scale. Individual contribution to these protests can do nothing, which is which is evidently shown during these years by many of the environmentalists. Greta Thunberg is one of them only. Even we know Leonardo DiCaprio, he even discussed many of these issues with the American presidents Barack Obama as well as Trump, but there is nothing has changed. So if all of us can do it together, I think we can achieve something. Because during this corona outbreak, I think it's completely locked down all over the globe. So all of the people have started like planting trees. They are trying to getting independent. So this all shows that if we do it together, we can achieve it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I too
Okay.
join with her.
Okay, Mariam. Mariam, you
You
can
can
continue.
continue.
You can continue. Mariam, you can continue.
Okay. I too join with her. I too had taken note that almost everyone had mentioned the name Greta Thunberg. The main quality or the main thing that struck us was that she was young, a young environmentalist. And I think that everybody should be included because everyone is affected. People from New York to New Delhi, everyone is affected. These rays are man-made, the climate change are man-made, and so they have to be accounted for and they are responsible for. So we cannot exclude anyone. We have to include all the sections of society, the young, the youth, the working class, and even the elder age, the retired people can also make a change. They can conduct classes, and the working age can put in more practical side, like that, like just like they're mentioned, using of electrical or hello.
Continue, Mariam. It's audible.
Oh, so yeah, the whole of the society, whole of the population, all of them should be included.
Okay. I have to say
May I
something
include something?
uh, regarding one thing.
May I?
Okay. Okay, you can continue. No problem.
Yeah, okay. Adding to the children stuff, children should be taught at a very young age. Everyone said that, but there will be some who will flow against the waves. I think so. There will be laws, but most of them will obey it. But there are people who will disobey those. Likewise, will be children. So, as Jeannie Jolie said in her presentation, acts of government and new generation and new innovations. And these acts of government regarding the environmental matters should be with not with selfishness or with short term. It's for next generation. So we should make all of our governmental leaders to get involved in environmental matters and take policies that are not short term and it must be long term. In Bhutan, as I've mentioned before, Bhutan has some of the strictest environmental conservation laws in the world. According to the 2008 constitution, at least 60% of the country's land must be covered by forests in perpetuity. It is the only country in the world that is carbon negative, which means it produces more oxygen than consumes. While many countries have no plastic policy, Bhutan has banned plastic bags since 1999. So the laws must be strict and children must be taught from their young age, from when they are born, that to avoid plastic, to switch off their lights and fans, and nature, love nature and all. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like what Edwin and Mariam and my fellow dear sister have said, the participation of youths. It is very important to concentrate on that topic because all of us should have a platform to raise our voice. Here, Albertian Association is providing us a platform to raise our voice and ideas. Like this, there are lots of young aspirants with a lot of ideas, especially in a country like India, where a lot of scientific developments are taking place, and their voice have to be raised to the entire world. So the UN can be a platform for that, so that the contribution of the governments, particular governments of the nation, also comes important in this case, because if India is conducting a root level talent test, or for example, a kind of competition where the college students and youth are allowed to participate and express their views, and based on that competition, the best will be chosen, and they will be allowed to say their voice to the entire world. So that kind of a transparency and that kind of an urgency is needed from the political side. So from our government, so that is lacking. So then one thing my fellow sister have added, that she have said that the lack of awareness is the main case. Yes, absolutely, lack of awareness is the main case. So most probably we all are not able to spread our ideas towards our fellow beings. So in order to make them aware, that like what I have said, a continuous chain-like system. For example, formation of a grassroots level army or youth army, utilizing the powers of the youth, rather than just confining a thing to a particular area, just widening our actions by a chain level steps. So we can associate a lot of organizations with this, and we can ensure that awareness reaches the grassroots level, reaches every student from the colleges and from the schools itself. They should be known to use the importance of turning over to a renewable energy source in the coming future or the coming decades. They should be made aware about the fact that the natural calamities are caused due to our activities, and moreover, severe devastations like the droughts will lead to a lot of problems. So the use of water limitedly and conserving it for future. So those kind of ideas have to be made through such organizations, and like that we can just ensure the participation of each and every citizen of the nations as well as across the world. They can come jointly together and make our goal reaches the destination.
Yeah, I would like to add a few more points here. So, as it was said that only citizens cannot do anything, and the government have to make some plans. Yes, it is only government. If only government also can't do anything, because see, if the government plan a policy and the citizens don't abide by it, the plan is total failure. And if the citizens are wanting to do something and the government is stopping them to do that, then also it doesn't bear any fruit. So it is a combined effort which we have to play. both government and the citizens have to play together. Now again, one thing I would like to draw your attention, that these days we are looking in school level, there are many competitions, innovative ideas competition types, like I can cite one example, like National Children's Science Congress. It's really very old, and so there what we used to see that children used to bring very creative ideas to tackle a problem. Now what we happen to see that those ideas are just put as a competition level, and those are just for competition's sake. But if we can do one thing, if we can study those things or their ideas, and if we can implement it or try to implement as a pilot project also somewhere, if it is better to do, so that thing has to be done by some well educated person, or the person who are at the highest level, so they can do or they can use those things. So basically why I'm saying this, because the childrens, they possess very unique ideas. When you will deal with a child in their teenage, and I'm pretty sure you all will agree with me, the children at their teenage, they are the most creative ones. They will come up with an idea which is more creative, which you have not thought about earlier. So those things should be promoted, so that can be promoted, and through various competitions, not only in competition. If we take it is in competition, then it comes about the winning and losing thing, but it is beyond that. So these are the things which we should see, and their ideas, we have to take in account their ideas, how good their ideas are, and can we plan it, or can we implement it in future. So that's it.
I am not of the opinion that it is the absence of laws and acts. I feel that it is absence of effort or absence of action. Many international level acts and regulations are often made, and to quote recently, international level agreements have been made to avoid a rise of temperature in more than 2 degrees Celsius. So instead of building castles in air, we should put an effort, right? So even if we are a small community, or even if we are not able to make a big change, we surely can make a small change. Piling up of stones will make a castle, right? So even if we feel helpless, or even if we feel minute in case of the global image, we should surely put an effort so that it can be seen in the global image. Thank you.
I actually I
Yes, I
dear
okay.
friends. Uh, okay, let me continue.
Okay, you continue, Priyanka.
I agree with all my dear friends that the resources in this earth are very scarce, but what our needs or our wants are unlimited. The difference between, or the gap between these needs and needs want to be meted in a regular manner, in an effective manner. So what we have to do is we have to choose between the alternative courses of action. We have to make sure that we are using the resources which are the best for our needs. If we are ready to use in that manner, if you are ready to use the resources in an efficient manner, I think that all the people, including youth, adults, students, everyone can make sure that our earth is being protected, and we are winning the rise of our rise against the climatic crisis. Thank you.
So I just want to add a note to all these suggestions by my friends. It is like yes, we many of the agreements were signed, many policies were introduced, and all this are a big failure. All this is because we humans are just selfish. We are just concentrating on our small family, our small home. We are cleaning it, we are maintaining it. uh, I mean it like we are not considering that our earth is our home. We are just ignoring our earth. We are just ignoring the resources and various other helpful things that were given to us, that were providing us in centuries since the beginning of Homo sapiens. So all we have to do is to realize that earth is also our home. Earth is also our home. We have to serve them. We have to preserve them. So this is what is lacking in all human minds. We are becoming selfish. So just creating awareness. I just don't support it, because creating awareness, we all are aware because of these climate changes. We are all aware it is all due to this greenhouse effects, and all are due to our actions. So creating awareness is not at all. I don't think that half of the population in the globe is aware about the climate change, because it's getting warmer, so storms are affecting various parts of the world. So all these are various signs. Yes, our Earth was affected by these natural hazards before, but it is continuously getting affected since a few years, which means we are in danger. So it's not like creating awareness. I support Miriam. It's the effort we have to put. It's the effort, and stop being selfish. That is what we have to do first. Just throwing the waste out and putting it into water resources and other areas, like causing land degradation, and all this shows that we are selfish. So what we have to do is just consider it as our home, because it is our home. So do something, just like we are doing to our house, how we are cleaning it. Just keep our planet also clean and keep it safe. That is what we have to do first. This is what we have to realize first, that it is our home. It is our mother earth. That is what we were taught since our lower classes. We are told that this is our mother earth. We have to preserve it, and all these were taught by everyone, each and everyone. But only a few people are realizing it and going out to preserve the environment. So it's we humans who have to put effort. Thank you.
Thank you, dear participants. The round two is almost over. We have run out of time. And we have a participant who have not yet presented the first round of her presentation. Jury members, please note we have Malavika Rajit. Malavika, are you here?
Yes, sir. Is it audible?
It's perfectly audible. Okay, over to you, Malavika Rajit. Now it is 21:14. You have time till 21:24. Jury members, please note Malavika Rajit. She is performing the round one of her presentation. Malavika Rajit, over to you. 21:14.
Okay, sir. Respected jury members and my dear friends, I would like to begin my speech by wishing everyone a very good days ahead. But it's true that each approaching days of our lives are a new stage of devastation. I would like to begin my words with a request to my dear and near ones to stay safe from the worst spreading epidemic. But it's a fact that we are no longer safe. We, the humans, are getting endangered, and our future is at jeopardy. I would like to portray the devastating environment through these framed sentences, but it's sad to say that many legends fail to do this because we ignored them. And finally, we are at the brim of mass extinction. Climate crisis is a bad news story that has been haunting us since last century due to the long-lasting human activities. Between 80 to 90% of all documented disasters during the past 10 years are the results of floods, tropical cyclones, severe storms, heat waves, and droughts. The frequency and intensity of floods are also increasing along with extreme precipitation, and all these are the results of severity in climate change. All this can be explained using a single term, greenhouse effect, and the causing factor we, the human beings. Human contribution to modern global warming is a hotly debated topic. Human emissions and activities have contributed to about 100% of the warming since 1950, according to the IPCC Fifth Assessment Report. The dependence on agroeconomy, use of fossil fuels, and industrial emissions have led to an increasing rate of emissions of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, thereby accelerating greenhouse effect and sponsoring a changing climate. Climate change can be given a simple explanation. The average temperature of the Earth was increased by 1.7 degree Fahrenheit, and it's all because of our activities. Our future generations are in trouble now. It's getting warmer each day, and storms are getting severe with droughts, long time droughts in between, and extreme high rates of greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere, thereby destabilizing the nation, sending millions of refugees across the borders, causing widespread disappearance of most of the species on Earth, as well as increasing sea levels, thereby causing leaving many coastal cities several feet underwater. So this can't be a sudden change but can affect our agricultural economy, thereby imbalancing our society with a worst scenario. In many parts of the world, climate change effects are not only expected but are being experienced. The 2019 has seen an extreme weather events with increasing severity, including Cyclone Idai affecting several parts of Mozambique. Then a record-breaking heat wave affected India during May and June, along with bushfires in Australia as a pre-summer heat wave hits the country. So all these explanations shortlist the environmental risks that we face today due to the increasing temperature. It all include air pollution, water scarcity, falling groundwater tables, resource depletion, radioactive contamination, and climate change is only one of them. From Wangari Maathai to Greta Thunberg, the same words are repeated. We can fix this together. According to the CCPI results 2020, no country has performed well enough in all the index categories to achieve an overall high rating in the index. So, seeing these results, I would like to quote the words of Leonardo DiCaprio, the UN representative of climate change. The humankind has seen climate change as if it were a fiction, as if pretending that it wasn't real and would somehow go away. It's not simple as we think. Many nations are all prepared to adapt to the conditions that are changing due to the changing climate. But there are people in the front line of climate change. Tuvalu, the fourth smallest nation on Earth, is under the threat of climate change due to the increasing sea level. All we have to do is not only adaptation but also mitigation. There are opportunities even in the most difficult moments. The words of Wangari Maathai has marked its importance in the present situation that we are passing through. The infectious disease unfolds across the globe, threatening the lives and upending the economy. But it has a profound effect on the environment. Emissions of greenhouse gases has got reduced by a temporary reduction in air pollution in China and Europe. All this evidently shows that it is something that we can achieve if we strive for it. Adoption of strategies that are concise, simple, strategic, and applicable so that the development can be the foundation of technological and policy innovation so that greenhouse gas emissions can reduce, leading to low carbon emissions in the atmosphere. So all this can be achieved through urban greening and farming that can contribute to carbon sequestration, and energy efficient transportation in addition to this can minimize the levels of carbon monoxide into the atmosphere. The year 2020 is really critical. The awareness is increasing along with global climate movements, pressurizing the government to make climate policy a priority. So European Union has adopted European climate law in order to attain climate neutrality by 2050 in European Union. So, all I have to say, climate change is a big challenge that we face, but it's a race we can win. It's we humans who have to decide whether we need clean power, livable cities, efficient transport systems. It's we humans who have to decide whether we need teeming oceans, fresh air, our biodiversity, more forest, and stronger economy. It's all I need to say. The earth is my home and I promise to keep it. Thank you.
Thank you, Malavika Rajit. So here comes the first and second round is almost over, and we are moving to the last round. That's a call for action round. And this is the round where you have to speak for yourself and for the Mother Nature and for all the life beings in the university. In the universe. Moving further, this is the time to conclude your presentation. This is the time to give the message to the whole world. So, request Ginny Joby to deliver the first speech, the concluding remarks of Ginny Joby.
Okay, sir. The human activities has resulted in many problems like greenhouse gas emissions rising, food and water insecurities, and the extreme level of the disasters. We all know the global temperature has been rising for past few years, and about the food and water insecurity, which in turn leads to the increase in the gap between rich and the poor people. And the statistics have showed that 90% of the problems or the disasters that happening all over the globe is due to the weather and climatical changes, which in turn pushes 26 million people into the poverty. So, from all these examples and from our discussion itself, it is very clear that no corner of the globe is immune from the devastating consequences of climatical changes. But this is the time to take bold collective action. Not tomorrow, today, not the next moment, this moment. This is the time that we have to change our mindset. This is the time that we have to change our lifestyle. This is the time that we have to take actions for protecting our environment. Just simpler, but a simple step, a simple change in our day-to-day life can make huge impact to the environment. It can lead to the protection of our mother nature. Many agreements, many protocols, many summits have been happening all over the world for past few years, which shows that we all are aware about the environmental degradation and the problems of climate crisis, etc. But what we have to do is we have to take actions. We have to make sure that it is the duty of every individual, including the adults, youth, and the students or the children, to protect our environment. We can do whatever we can to protect our environment. Follow the tip of nature. New generation, new innovations, acts, trees, use of right things, 3 R's, and the efficient utilization of resources. And to which I am also adding one more, awareness. So these can result into the betterment of our earth, and let's make our earth a better, brighter place. We need more and more Greta Thunberg among us. We need more and more environmentalists among us. So it is the duty of every citizen, every global citizen, to love our nature, care our nature, and thereby to protect our nature through simpler but big or huge change in this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ginny Joby. The next participant, Mariam Philip from Kottayam. Mariam, it's 21:26. Start.
Sir, am I audible?
Perfectly.
Okay.
So climate change can be broadly divided into man-made and natural, just like any other thing. The main difference between the two is that natural climate change is more of gradual and man-made is abrupt. Natural climate change has to occur and it is a natural phenomenon. Evolution of new species after ice age is a good example to quote. Now comes man-made climate change. It is more sudden and abrupt, and it is also drastic. The self-centered motive of human beings of making oneself priority has made ourselves in the present situation. The new age, modern era, the modern man, the new gens, as we call ourselves, the Uber ideology and tech-centered people all exist to make the present people more comfortable and the future men miserable. We are more comfortable today than we were yesterday. Yet, we are not worried about our unborn tomorrows. But we have the moral obligation to hand over our earth to our future generation, just like our ancestors. So let the earth reach our small hands. And on a conclusive note, I would like to add, be not afraid of growing slowly. Be not afraid to make a change. Asking questions and raising objections is not anti-national. If Greta Thunberg can, we can too. And finally, let your voices be heard and be the ideas for today. Thank you.
The next participant, Ebin John. Ebin, are you ready?
Yes,
Ebin?
am I audible?
Yes, perfectly. Now it is 21:28. 5 minutes. You can start now.
Coming to an end, finding the solution to these crises that we are going to, I would like to add the words of Buckminster Fuller. He said that to overcome an existing problem, we should not fight the existing reality, but we should find a new model which will make the existing model obsolete. Likewise, we have to work. We have to make our existing lifestyle an obsolete one. We have to move into a new lifestyle. Through lifestyle, we have to bring about all the changes. Through lifestyle, we have to maintain the existence itself. We have to create awareness among the people, especially among the skeptics who are arguing there is no climate change. It takes a time because we need to clarify things much more scientifically to these kind of people. Try using the renewable energy sources to its maximum extent, reduce the power consumptions in a method in maximum ways that you can. Try maximum utilization of the public transport, but I'll say that only after this pandemic sessions which we are going through right now. All through this way we shall overcome. This is the way, make the existing lifestyle an obsolete one, and we shall do. We are up to the end of webinar, and this end should be the beginning of something. Move from apathy to action. Move from apathy to action. Together we shall do the things. We shall overcome, and as I said before, it's not shall or can, we must do it. Thank you.
21:30. Okay, thank you very much, Ebin John. The next participant, Sonu S. Shibu. Jury members, respected jury members, please note, Sonu S. Shibu. Sonu?
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, perfectly. Over to you, 21:30. You can take another 5 minutes, 21:35.
I want to start with an example where one of my experience comes in. When I was studying in 6th or 7th standard, one of my professors have talked to me, like saying a myth or just like a small story, where he has explained a situation that while a person have time traveled to 2300 and where there was a lot of devastations and changes, in fact, not devastations, in fact, changes in livelihood have came there. People are not at all thinking about what all the changes that will happen in the nature if they, due to the inputs that they are providing. So the fact is that like the conclusion of the debate session reached, it is not about just awareness. Awareness is rooted level, is the first level awareness. But we have to make sure that almost all people in our world are aware of the fact that currently the earth is in danger, our atmosphere is in danger. The fact is that no one is realizing realizing that a single step can make huge economic losses as well as huge prices as the decades to come. So it is important to make sure that these actions, for example, let us take the case of Paris Agreement, where 192 parties have signed, and still what is the current scenario and situation of that agreement? It is not being enacted. It is limited to reports. That is not acceptable. So if we are going with 10-year studies, if we are going with action plans again without formulating a mode of conduct, then definitely it will not be positive in the coming future. So we need to make sure that we are transforming into a renewable energy based system from a fossil fuel based system, which ensures limited emission of carbon and other toxic gases into the atmosphere. So transition of the economy to a renewable based economy comes first. So that is the first aspect. Next, second aspect is that the implementation of the decisions taken from the higher levels to the grassroots level. So if somebody is aware of the fact that we are at the crisis, then definitely he can do something to make some changes. So it is very important that these decisions taken from the upper herds reaches the grassroots level through a very well planned mechanism. That is the fact. And last, change of livelihood. We should make sure that we use the renewable energy systems as well as we are conserving something for the future. Let us say no to any more 10-year studies. Let us say no to any more action plans. Instead, it is time to say yes to take actions. Thank you.
2134. The next participant, Teja Teres. Now it is 2134, and you have time till 2139. Teja, are you there? Teja?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, over to you. Switch on your cam.
Okay, now coming to an end, I have to reiterate something. We need strategies that are not short-sighted and selfish. We need strategies that are not short-sighted and selfish. Children should be taught at every young age how to protect nature, how to respect nature, and how to be friendly with nature. And adding one more thing, reduce environmental footprint, the amount of natural resources that a person or company use, and the amount of harmful gases that they produce. Our average footprint is so huge that we are on track to exhaust the Earth's resource if we don't make big changes soon. And the soon must be today. The change must be today. Switch to renewable energy, reduce, reuse, and recycle, and teach our young little ones. Minimize food wastages, etc. And thank you. I'm ending.
It's 2135. Malavika Rajit, are you there? Malavika?
Yes, I'm here. Is it audible, sir?
Perfectly. 2135. Your time starts now. You have time till 2140.
Okay. Yes, we are at the conclusion of this webinar. I just want to remind all of you something. We had once a beautiful home comprising of green landscape with heavily flowing springs around, with high peak mountains and thick canopies. We had a numerous number of friends, birds, butterflies, fishes, squirrels. Yes, they were our friends. And our Mother Nature gave us food, shelter, fresh air to survive, and her soothing lap to sleep. When we grew up, we wished to establish, not wished, we determined to establish our kingdom over our mothers. And finally, we have established. We have strong black tarred roads with high building blocks and factories spitting out black smoke. Yes, it is our new home. We have mobile phones, televisions with vast knowledge and immense entertainments, and they are our new friends. And our Mother Nature is still giving us her leftover food, her devastated shelter, her destroyed lap to sleep, and her polluted air to survive. So, climate change is, of course, a race we can win, but it is not something that can be achieved individually. It's a major worldwide issue, and we have to act in a massive scale. Nations are adopting adaptation techniques, but don't forget our Mother Earth. Adopt mitigation techniques too. And to the adults, please don't hand over your responsibility to youth. And youth, please don't hand over your responsibility to the future generations. It is we who have to serve our environment. All we need to support that to reduce the activities that we are carrying out that are affecting our environment. Reduce the emissions and encourage others to do so. Preserve our environment, be the green fingers, and regain our greenery back. Thank you.
2138, thank you very much. Sanjay, are you there? Sanjay Khalita?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, now the time is 21:38. You have another 5 minutes. Carry on.
Thank you, sir. So at the end of today's discussion, what we have come to a conclusion that it is either lack of willingness or it is the lack of awareness. In either case, what happens? We have to make the people who are unaware, we have to make them aware, firstly. Secondly, those who are not willing to act on this, because we are very lazy, and as our previous speakers also said, that we are acting lazily or we are acting as selfish. But now it's time to stop being selfish, and those who know about the serious condition of these situations have to make people aware who are unaware of this. Now we have to keep in mind only one thing, that is the Earth is the only planet in this whole vast universe, and that's the only home we got. We have no other way to go around. So buckle up and join the war and do every bit from us, so that we can fight against this climate change. And if we act togetherly and if we act collectively, then I am sure we can win this war against this climate change, and we'll win this race, and we'll definitely get some results. So keep that in mind. The Earth is the only place we have got. Thank you.
Thank you. It's 21:40. So the last round is also over, the third round, and the final is almost over. And we are waiting for the jury members, the message as well as the results. So let me take the opportunity to invite Dr. Madhusudanan K, who is an eminent professor in the Department of Botany and Research Center of St. Albert's College Autonomous, who is an environmentalist in general. And more than that, he is a wonderful, he is mentored. That's the important thing that I always praise about him. And the great eminent learner come professor, the M.S. Swaminathan sir, the greatest scientist that have ever seen by our great nation. So over to you, Madhusudanan sir. We are waiting for your final message as well as your judgment about our participants.
Yeah, good evening, friends. A special congratulations to all the participants, because you have presented everything in a very perfect way. But my one small apprehension that none of you except one student that Malavika Ranjit. She only touched something about the importance of the food security point of view. My emphasis is on how much we can contribute for the food security, food basket of our nation or our state, or at least for our family. What should be our contribution? You people are talking in terms of the mass extinction, maybe with a special reference to human population. But what about the precious biodiversity, agricultural diversity? Because the greatest problem which hunting us are the three great P's: population explosion, poverty, and pollution. And I think a simple remedy for all these three existing problems is a simple farming technique. A simple farming. I want to just to call it as a climate smart agriculture. Climate smart agriculture. Can we have a strategy for developing a climate smart agriculture at 4 different levels? At the individual level, what is your might to contribute for the finding solution for the existing climate change crisis? Your contribution. Maybe at community level, human being, we are as a societal animal or a societal element. What is our contribution at societal level? That's community level. Maybe at a higher level, what is the contribution at a national level? And finally, a networking of all nations to have a world peace, because I think we all lost our peace because of the haunting environmental crisis. The ultimate objective of setting UN is to establish harmonious relationship with the nation. Peace on earth, that was the first and foremost objective of UN. Why it has happened? Because we have witnessed 2 world wars. And it's after effect, the setting up of UN for establishing world peace. But maybe now we are also fearing in future we may have another world war for natural resources. It can be for food grain, or it can be for land, or it can be for water, or even it can be for a competition for existence. So under this situation, my first and foremost emphasis should we have small things for finding solution for existing food problems. We should have enough food security as well as health security, especially when we are facing the COVID-19 pandemic. We should have health is wealth. So in that context, how can we achieve smart agriculture? Because one of the biggest problem which we are facing due to environmental crisis is low crop productivity, soil salinization, drought is yet another problem, low productivity, emergence of pests and diseases, then heat tolerant traits are losing from. So I think I have got an answer for all this problem. First and foremost, can we practice zero tillage, no tillage or minimum tillage in agriculture so that we can preserve or conserve the moisture level present in the water and the soil? Can we develop heat tolerant or drought tolerant varieties? We have to just screen crop varieties for the varieties of crop plants which can tolerate higher temperature. We have to promote that. or we have to produce drought tolerant varieties. For that, we need a rich crop diversity. All our traditional varieties are very, very, very precious. During the course of the so-called Green Revolution, we lost many of our precious agricultural diversity. We had to go back. We had to just search for our lost varieties. Can we store it? Can we use it for just creating the resistant varieties, disease-resistant, drought-resistant varieties of crop? So we had to preserve agricultural biodiversity. Then we had to adopt eco-friendly crop protection measures. Say no to chemical pesticides. Use eco-friendly pest management practices. You need not kill all the pests. There should be, if the pest is a pest, when it affect the crop at a threshold level. If the crop loss is for about 20%, you need not worry, because as a universal, as an ecological point of view, every organism has the right to live in this nature. You should develop that concept. That is why now from Green Revolution, we are going to Evergreen Revolution, where we are giving emphasis on agricultural sustainability. Sustainability in with respect to environmental sustainability, social acceptance or social sustainability, and economic sustainability. When all these three aspects coming to or harmoniously coin, then only we will have an ever agricultural production to meet our food demands. Then we should have eco-friendly manuring practices, fertilizers. Say no to chemical fertilizer, because all the chemical fertilizer, you are told that it's fuel driven or consumed products. We have to stop that. And for that, we should use our knowledge related to the composting. I recollect the visit of Professor Albert Howard. He's an Englishman, he visited India, and he has written a very famous book, The Agricultural Testament. He has visited India just to study the traditional agricultural practices India has. He has written that book. In that book, he has described the various composting techniques practiced by the Indian farmers. We have got a rich tradition of making eco-friendly, low-cost manures. And I think where the concept of LEISA, low external input sustainable agriculture, plays an important role. You have to produce your own, you have to find out your own manurial source. You can produce biofertilizer, you can produce different types of compost, you can have your source of fuel as biogas fuel, you can tap solar energy, you can have energy efficient irrigation system. You should also preserve. I would like to coin the term CPP, conserve, preserve, and prosper your variety, traditional varieties. And you should also have appreciate farmer as a breeder as well as a scientist, because we lost that culture. That is why during the regime of our late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, she has coined the term Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. We should appreciate, because he is the person who gives us the food. And we should also contribute at least maybe 1% of our food from our own land. By doing that, we are just preserving the precious biodiversity for us, and our children are seeing that. By seeing they will start working for the future. Seeing is believing. So we should have a replicable good model in each and every household. Then we should also have a community seed bank to share. Community seed bank concept is a very essential. And saving plants for saving life. We should have the rich tradition of just growing herbal plants for caring our health requirement, primary health cares, herbal plants. And we should also have a concept of tree hugging and tree planting during our birthdays, during our graduation, and so that it's an answer for the global warming. See, planting tree is the answer for global warming. So I think these are the small steps which every one of us can do. By doing that, and I think we have to just inculcate the message of this. The environmental conservation is the job or the duty of every citizen. And under this context, I would recollect there is a well-known fundamental right, that is Article 51 of Indian Constitution, which says that nature, the conservation of nature as well as natural resources is the duty of every citizen of India, and one should have compassion for living creature in the sense biodiversity. So you are preserving biodiversity, you are preserving your environment, you are also contributing individually for the development of our nature. So that is very important aspect. And environmental legislation, I think even I wanted to even suggest one new aspect. I think that this could be one idea. Can we just have a concept of giving the so-called tax rebate to people who enforce just planting trees, and while we are planting taxes to the local panchayat or even to the state, they should come and monitor whether the people is having these they are maintaining the plant. If they verify that they are planting all the plants are there, it's growing properly, you should have a record of maybe 5 to 10 years. Then after verifying this, the rebate can be given to people. Powerful way by which everybody will contribute the greening. And I think the concept under UN 75, this climate crisis aspects, I think we should the organizers, including my own college, they have done a big job of greening the young minds with the green deeds and thoughts. That is the answer. That's the real answer for the future. Thank you.
Sir, the results. Madhu sir, the results.
Yes.
Madhu sir, the results.
Yes. Okay.
You can read out. I will just type in and I will call the next. Yeah.
No, it is there. It is ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay, first round. I will just, you can call up the name.
Okay, Ginny Joby, sir.
Ginny Joby, out of 40, it is 29.
29. Okay, sir. We can complete the Ginny Joby second round.
No, I think that first round, this one I will read out. Maybe it is on different sheets.
Okay, fine. Mariam Philip.
Mariam Philip, it is 31.
31. And Sonu Yeshibu.
It is 32.
Teja Therese Tommy. Teja Therese Tommy.
Teja Therese Tommy, it is 28.
Alavika Rajit.
27.
Sanchez Khalita.
30. 30.
Sir, I will repeat. Ginny Joby, 29.
Yeah.
Mariam Philip, 31.
Yeah.
Ebin John, 32.
Yeah. 32. 32.
32. Yes, sir. Sonu Yeshibu, 28.
Yes.
Teja Therese Tommy, 27.
Sonu Yeshibu, 32.
Okay, so
Ebin John 28.
Sir, there is a confusion. Yeah, once more, sir. Ginny Joby, 29.
29.
Mariam Philip,
31.
Ebin John,
28.
Sonu Yeshibu,
32.
32. Teja Teres Tommy,
28.
28. Malavika Rajit,
27.
and Sanjay,
30. 30.
30. Okay, that is for round
round.
1. First
Yeah.
round.
Out of 40. Yeah.
Out of 40. Yeah. And now round 2.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Deliberation round.
Deliberation round. Ginny
Yeah.
Joby,
It is 20. 20. Out of 30.
20. Out of 30. Mariam Philip,
21.
Ebin John,
Ebin John, 24.
Sonu Yeshibu,
Sonu, yes, Shibu. It is 23.
23. Teja Teres,
Teja Teres, 22.
22. And Malavika Rajit,
20.
20. Sanchez Khalita,
23.
23. And we are moving to the round 3.
Just a minute. Okay, I'll take.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. That's
Round
also out of 30.
Out of 30, right, sir.
Yeah.
Ginny
Just
Joby,
21.
2-1. Mariam Philip,
23.
2-3. Ebin John,
21.
2-1. Sonu Yeshibu,
22.
2-2. Teja Teres Tommy,
18.
1-8.
Yeah.
Malavika Rajit,
20. 20.
2-0. Sanjay Khalita,
20. 20.
2-0. So the jury member 1, Dr. Madhusudanan sir have marked participant Ginny Joby 70, that is 70. Mariam Philip 75, that is 75. Ebin John 73, that is 73. Sonu Yeshibu 77, that is 77. Teja Teres Tommy 68, that is 68. Malavika Rajit 67, that is 67. Sanjay Khalita 73, that is 73. And now I request jury member 2, Dr. Vijay John Kannikal, to read out the results, and we will continue with the message at the later stage. Vijay, sir.
Okay, thank you, Shine. I'll read out the results for the first round.
Okay.
That is the climate crisis presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, first one is Ginny Joby.
Right.
Out of 40, 32.
3-2.
3-2. Then for the deliberation, Ginny Joby 25 out of 30. Then for concluding remarks, 26-6.
26, yeah.
So that's for Ginny Joby. Next candidate is Mariam, no? Mariam
Yes,
Philip.
Mariam Philip. Ginny Joby, jury member 2 have awarded 28. Mariam Philip, round 1.
Mariam Philip, round 1, 33.
3-3. Round 2.
22.
22. Round 3.
23.
And Ebin John, next candidate. That is jury member 2 have awarded Mariam Philip 78.
Ebin John, first round 28.
28.
Second round 24.
24.
Third round 24.
24. Jury member 2 have awarded Ebin John 76, that is 76.
Next is
Sonu, yes.
Sonu. First round 37.
37, 37.
Second round 26.
26.
Third round 25.
25. 25. Jury member 2 have awarded Sonu Yeshibu 88. 88. Teja Teres Tommy. Round 1.
Teja Teresa, round 1, 27.
27. Round 2.
22.
22. Round 3.
Again 22.
22. 22. Teja Teres Tommy, you are awarded 71 by jury member 2. Sir Malavika Rajit, round 1.
Malavika, first round 29.
29.
Second round 21.
21. 21.
Third round 25.
25.
25.
Malavika Rajit, you are awarded 75 by jury member 2. Sanjay Khalita.
Sanjay, first round 35.
35.
Second round 25.
25.
Third round again 25.
25. So Sanjay Khalita, you are awarded 85 by jury member 2. Thank you, sir. I will come back to you for the message. Jury
Thank
member
you.
3, Dr. Professor Mary Joseph. Professor Mary
Hello?
Joseph. Yes,
Hello?
ma'am. Yes.
Can
Hello,
you hear
ma'am.
me?
Yes, perfectly
Can you hear
audible.
me?
Yes, perfectly audible, ma'am.
Okay. First one, Jeannie Joby,
Yes, ma'am.
26 out of 40 for the first
26.
round.
Yeah.
26 out of 40 for the first round.
Yes.
21 out of 30 for the second.
Yes.
And 20 out of 30 for the third round.
Last round is 2-0.
Yes.
Okay. Jury member 3 have awarded 67 for Ginny Joby. Yes, ma'am.
Next, Mariam.
Mariam. Yeah.
First round, 28 out of 40.
28.
Second round, 25 out of 30.
25. Yeah.
And third, 25 again out of 30.
25 again. Yeah. So, Mariam Philip, jury member 3 awarded you 78. Ebin John, ma'am.
Next, Ebin, first round, 30 out of 40.
30. Yeah.
Second round, 24 out of
24.
30, 24.
Yes.
And third round, 21 out
2-1.
of 30.
Yes. Ebin John, you are awarded 75 points by jury member 3. Ma'am Sonu.
Next, Sonu, 29 out of 40 for the first round.
29.
Yeah. 25 out of 30 for the second round.
25.
And 22 out of 30 for the third round.
22. 2-2.
Yes.
Sonu, you are awarded 76 by jury member 3. Ma'am Teja Teres.
Teja. First round, 25 out of 40.
25 out of 40. Yes, ma'am.
Second, 20. 20.
Second, 20.
Third also 20. 20.
Third also 20. Teja Teres, you are awarded 65. 65 by jury member 3. Ma'am
Next, Malavika.
Malavika.
25 for the first round.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 for the second round.
2-0.
Yeah. And 22 for the third round.
22 for the third round. That is 6-7. Malavika, jury member 3 awarded you 6-7 points. Yes, ma'am. Sanjay Khalita.
Next, Sanjay. 26 for the first round.
26 for the first round.
23 for the second round.
23 for the second round.
And 21 for the third round.
21 for the third round. And Sanjay Khalita, you are awarded 70 points by jury member 3. And now before moving to the final decisions, the results, I request Dr. Vijay John Kannikal, the jury member 2, to deliver the message for the day. Over to you, Vijay sir.
Thank you, Shane. First of all, let me congratulate all the participants for their efforts to present yourself in an internationally recognized platform like this, based on the UN concepts. And all the participants shared their views very clearly. And I think you are all inspired by the young environmentalist, Greta. Many of you quoted Greta in your speech. And this inspiration, you should continue and be young environmentalists of our country. And what can you do for our nation as well as to our globe? Do whatever you can. It may be a small thing to preserve the resources, use minimum resources to have a sustainable growth in our nature. So love your nature, as you all said in your talks. Be the ambassadors of nature. Spread this message wherever you can, and we can hope that we will win this race and see a new horizon. Thank you.
Request Professor Mary Joseph, Dean Student Affairs, to deliver the message. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello.
Audible,
Hello.
please continue, ma'am.
Yeah. I was just remembering a former UN Secretary General, Dr. Kofi Annan's words. The question is not whether climate change is happening, but whether we ourselves can change fast enough. So each one of you, the youth of today, I think can become the catalyst for a better tomorrow. In your own way, at your own homes, I think you can start, just like Madhu sir said, by becoming, I think we can all become a small farmer first at our own homes. If we can do something for our own food, that is the first thing that we need, the basic requirement. So if we can get, plant some vegetables, that is the most popular thing that is happening now. Everyone is trying to get their own vegetable garden, whether in the terrace or in the garden outside. If you can start off with that, and moreover, you can use your own manure for the purpose, like you have your waste, domestic waste that are from the kitchen and all, that you can convert into compost and then use it for those vegetables. You will really find a lot of happiness out of the whole thing. Like we do it at our own homes here, so we know how it is. Very fresh and really tasty, very different from the vegetables that we get from the market outside. So I think that is one thing that you can do at home right now. I mean, you can start off with this, becoming a small farmer yourself. So I congratulate each and every one of you for having taken part in this great venture. And of course, I know each one of you have a great role to play in the coming years. So all the best, and hope you make your life worthwhile and you contribute to the society at large. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving to my final responsibility. The UN 75, that's a great responsibility with us. It is beyond the 2022. and beyond shaping ourselves. It is being together for our future. The climate crisis, a race that we can win, is definitely a race. And we can see in the environment that a lot of climate change is happening. And in this crisis time, in the days of the great pandemic, we have to be a little bit fear. We have to see that we are powerless. We have to see the face of the threat more than the COVID. That's a climate crisis. As the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres pointed out in September, the climate emergency is a race that we are losing, but it is a race that we can definitely win, that we can win. That's a point that I would like to share. Emphasizing on 4 points made by the UN. The first one, the global temperature are rising. The global temperature have risen from the pointing out the 2015 Paris Agreement on climate change, which calls for holding eventually warming well below the 2 degrees Celsius, and for the pursuit of efforts to the limit the increase even further to 1.5 degrees. But if we don't slow the global emissions, the temperatures could rise to above the 3 degrees Celsius by 2100, which might cause further irreversible damage to our ecosystem. The food and water insecurity, that's what the jury member was emphasizing on. Dr. Madhusudanan sir, the great environmentalist, the mentor, his mentor was also into that, the food security aspect. Now we have to be the green warriors to incultivate a habit of agriculture, starting from our own family. The extreme ends of disasters of climate and weather, that is going to be questioned. These will be the catalyst of the conflict in the present times and for the future. And moving further a path forward, it is our responsibility to be the change. And the change have to start from our own personal life. I believe that this was a wonderful opportunity for us to realize how we can change ourselves as well as our fellow beings. How we could inspire all the people and ourselves for the futures yet to come, the generations yet to come. And with this message, I would like to conclude and present the final results. Ginny Joby have scored 220 with 73%. Mariam Philip have scored 231 with 77%. Ebin John have scored 224 with 75%. Sonu S. Shibu have scored 241 with 80%. Teja Teres Tommy scored 204 with 68%. Malavika Rajit scored 209 with 70%. Sanchez Khalita scored 228 with 76%. And it's my honor to present the winner of the session 1. Winner of the session 1. I know the results are almost out. It's none. Sonu S. Shibu from Alappuzha, Kerala. Congratulations, the new selected United Nations Student Ambassador for the UN 75, the Climate Crisis, a race we can win, organized by the Albertian Foundation and the St. Albert's College Autonomous in the grand finale right now. Congratulations, Sonu
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Now you with a responsibility to be the ambassador of climate crisis where we should win this race. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the other members who have joined with us, for this wonderful program, and with insightful presentation of yours and engaging the deliberations and to the pointed discussions that you have made, and clear-cut strategic plans that you have suggested, and the call for action for yourself as well for the nations in the world. That was wonderful. I would like to congratulate each and every contestants. You are a selected people from the 121 registered members for this program. I would like to congratulate each and every 7 members who are here for this final. Including 8th member, that is Aparna Haridas. With regard to her network issues, he couldn't complete the process. But I would like to congratulate all the 8, and especially the Sonu Yeshubu who won this program. Keeping apart from the competition level, everyone, all the 8 members have performed well. And I would like to congratulate all the other 7 members for your wonderful presentation. Meantime, I would like to congratulate and sincerely thank our beloved jury members, Dr. Madhusudanan K, Dr. Vijay John Kanikal, Professor Mary Joseph. These 3 members from the last 1 week, they are into the activity. They are into a lot of deliberations of their own. And today, I have only joined on today early morning, and in the department, we had a sitting of 1 hour to discuss on today's final presentation. But all the other things they have done their own. I would like to congratulate and I would like to sincerely thank on behalf of the St. Albert's College and on behalf of the Albertian Foundation for finding out your time. I know that you 3 are really busy with a lot of academic works, but instead of that, only with regard to the love of Mother Nature, you 3 have spared a lot of hours for this program. I would like to congratulate and to thank on behalf of Albertian Foundation and St. Albert's College once again to all the 3 jury members. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Welcome. Thank you.
And I would like to remember the great inspiration of our college, the chairman as well as the management of St. Albert's College Autonomous, who spearheads all the activities of our visionary activities of our college, and the academic head, our principal, and all the deans and all the heads of the departments who are there with us, and especially there is a team of UN 75 where 2 faculty members and 9 students are dedicated for this event, and they are working day and night to spread the message, to collect the registrations, to collect the videos, to identify, to categorize the various participants. And the level 1 and level 2 valuations was also done by the same team. I would like to thank all the student coordinators as well as the staff coordinators who are into UN 75. And I would like to thank all the staff members of St. Albert's College who are supportive. And I would like to congratulate and thank all the students who have participated from the level 1 and level 2. And once again, on behalf of Albertian Foundation and St. Albert's College, I would like to invite you all for the next 6 activities also. The UN 75 comprises of 7 themes, and this is the first theme. We have 6 more themes to go, and the next theme is digital technologies. So it's already open. use the wonderful opportunity that you have. We started at 7 and now it is 22:21. Now almost 3.5 hours we have taken. We have taken almost 3.5 hours. So I don't want to prolong this thing. Once again, I would like to thank each and everyone for joining with the St. Albert's College Autonomous and the Albertian Foundation for the good work for our Mother Nature. Thank you very much. I request participants to stay